Venus in view real quick. Venus is setting already behind the trees. Also got some Saturn coming up right after it. So before they set, give us a little view. What's up everybody in the chat room? What's up Akumas and Polly B and Genghis Khan and Mary and Ellie, Moonimals. Just finishing up my dinner right here. A really early dinner, but wanted to get, I really hadn't eaten up until this point all day. I was just sitting around catching up on things. Cool, so thanks for everybody checking out the chat earlier with Tess. I had to skip the show with the electric view today, just I was on the headphones and the microphone for like hours this morning and yesterday all day almost. So I needed a little break between then and now. Yo, what's happening, Dapple Ben and Kimmy? Welcome, welcome. So I got a mango smoothie. It's pretty awesome, and the weather's much warmer. A little bit of Venus behind the trees, sparkling nicely. Yeah, we got an almost 90% waxing gibbous moon. I'm gonna head over there in a moment. It was just cloudy, but yeah, thanks for hanging out everybody. Another one, haven't missed a day so far. Been very lucky with the weather. See if we can't catch a satellite or two. And let me know if you have any thoughts on the show earlier with Tess. If there are any questions or follow-ups to anything I said or we talked about. There's so much stuff going on. You know, caught me breathing at a couple of intervals because I just had so much to say. So definitely let me elaborate if you have any thoughts. Yeah, the mango's good. French fries and mango smoothie is what I'm finishing up. So I'll toast y'all and get toasted. It's gonna be, I don't know, like an hour and a half tonight. I'll have some fun with the moon. And I think there's, yeah, let's see what else is going on. And I'm gonna play some tracks from Vibration Theater. Let this go. Alright. So, definitely got some cloudage on the moon. I want to hop in here and say what's up to everybody. What's up, Amethyst Crystal? Kimmy says, remember the Neb Neb? I saw 2 videos with a weird thing in the sky. I was like, yeah, it turned out it was diffraction due to seeing it through the corner of the doorway, because even a tiny bit of aberration, like an object in the line of sight, is going to split the light. It looked very cool, that's for sure, but it actually gave me insight into some of the stuff they were talking about that are kind of called alien videos, or UFO videos, but they're probably light being diffracted or a star being, manipulated. Definitely looked weird. I mean, or not weird, it just looked interesting. But to be honest, even though that was very cool, I still think the Orion Nebula itself is still just 100 times crazier. Well, yeah, all the more those doorbell cameras are, have really cheap glass in them, and seeing objects through cheaper type of layered glass will actually create a lot of chromatic fringing or aberration. Plus it's spherical. It's like fisheye, I assume. So it's going to stretch the light and make it look more interesting. Not more interesting, just more like something weird or strange versus just something natural, which is the fact that light bends, and crappy lenses and really just twisting something or putting dirt on a lens or defocusing something is going to make it look heightened and strange, so-called. But again, I'm trying to flip that perception to just the moon and just Orion Nebula, which is even ridiculous because it's not just that, it's already crazy. But don't know if I need all those, even though I was following it, it's I don't know if I need to be hyped up like that, because what is it? Are we excited for the world to come to an end or for visitation to happen? What is it that's going to trigger that kind of satisfaction when it comes to an anomaly like that? What if something crazy were happening in space? It would be actually really crazy. So I don't know, it's hard to not cry wolf and to be nuanced about it. I'm not trying to be pedantic either. Cray cray nib. Yeah, look, unusual is just because because we have these cameras now, and cameras are fairly new as a consumer product, so people are getting into it and using it in weird ways. Some people are not trying to just be hyped. They're oh, I just caught this because that's what the lens did. So not calling people out necessarily, but definitely can be misinterpreted. What up, somebody somewhere? How's it going? Done with work? Let's see. Let me know if I missed anybody. But we got a nice moon, plagued a little bit by clouds, but Aristarchus coming into view. Mare Imbrium fully in view. Looks like we can get a good shot of Sinus Iridum, Copernicus, Kepler. We got Tycho full view, Mare Humorum, Mare Nectaris, and clouds. So let's just get some tunes to shoo them away. Something different. Yeah, it's like funhouse mirrors. People are really just intrigued and seduced by warping images and things that look different than what we're normally used to. However, I still think, like I said, Orion Nebula is so crazy, I shouldn't be used to that. Like, I shouldn't be taking it for granted. And it's so strange how we have popular science that really tries to play down these images. They're so beautiful, but they never say, wow, these are just ridiculous that they exist. Just amazing. It's always like NASA's game is the grass is always greener. That's why we have like exoplanet research instead of, you know, Earth research. Well, that's not fair. There is Earth research, but there isn't. I don't know, I feel like exoplanet research, all that money could be put into Earth research and lunar research. Stuff's a little bit closer, a little more logical, a little more understandable. There's just a ton of money going into these programs that is trying to like set up shop somewhere besides Earth without really giving Earth a chance. And yeah, I know it's a different way of thinking, but that's what I feel is going on. We'll run this song from the top.
Float, the moon is calling, a souvenir, a soon rescue, a hope remain. Not fixing the phone, mixing your liquids, now you're left for dead. Just pay your debts. Float, the moon is calling, a souvenir, a soon rescue.
Hey y'all, just dealing with these clouds over here. I feel like they're gonna move through, it's just at a certain altitude. Rest of the sky is looking clear, so I'm gonna wait on it for a moment. Got some songs. Let's see, Amethyst Crystal says, question, I'm in Australia as you know. The moon looks different from my point of view. Is it because I'm upside down? So, I wanna say yes, Southern Hemisphere moon looks flipped, but I haven't had like personal experience with it. However, I do believe that Cosmic Surfer, you can double check, he's in South Africa, and he has images of the moon pretty regularly, so you can check what's straight up or what's upside down. I also don't use a diagonal. A lot of people use that and it flips the image. This is camera, direct to scope, so it's right side up. Yeah. Yo, what's going on, Silent Murmur? How's it going? Oh, I guess YouTube was on. I was talking. Yeah, I know, like, sometimes my voice is way louder than the music. I'm excited. I think maybe tomorrow or the day after, I'm going to switch to the 11-inch and Logic and be able to play some guitar, which is exciting. Haven't missed a night so far of the moon. Feeling really lucky. Cool. Well, let me know if you have any questions or any follow-ups from the show with Tess. We talked about a lot of ideas like giants and culture and mutual mass acceleration and RH negative and redheads, red-haired people. Actually, that idea, I don't know if y'all heard me talking about it, but the idea of hair being reflective, and we have really blonde, brown, red, all parts of the spectrum that don't verge on green and blue and pink. Like natural hair like that doesn't really exist. So it's interesting how hair is actually determined by spectral diffraction or light bands. So I think that was like an on-the-fly thought, and I was like, man, that I think really works. So I'm going to look more into that. All right, I think, look, we got some clouds moving through. Let me clear this image up and keep this track going. I like it one. Let's try a zoomed in shot. I feel like it's moving. Feel. What up? End Daylight Savings Bear. That's a pretty funny name.
I was stolen by the rock star. Don't know what they're killing for. Staring up at the familiar lights, enormous. Don't make me pay. Of course, don't wanna live another day. Of course, what does it all mean? Is it all just one bad dream? I'm trying to forgive, knocking my lips to break them apart. You're down into orbit, sparkle and tricks too sweet and small. Dying to forget, eyes of the world, don't let it go cold. Stuck in this orbit, sinking the coilers, darling, just break my heart anymore. I can't take it. I believe it after. Oh, I can't take it. Where does this feeling come from? Where do I get the
Alright, quick shot here of Aristarchus looking mighty nice tonight, showing you the conjugate geometry and the filamentary action of Schroeder's Valley, split in a branching river-like structure. Looks like sperm, it looks like snake, it looks like probably the neural pathways in your brain. If you look at your palm also has this exact shape that Schroeder's Valley does. And also, if you doubt geometry on the moon, you'll see very clearly the diamond shape of Aristarchus Plateau. Very simple to see. This is never explained in common mooner science. They're just like, oh yeah, Aristarchus just formed by impact. It couldn't have been printed better on a chip. You can see it's like organized like a mathematical circuit board. It's so crazy to think that like an impact would come and create this shape. Even if it created the mound craters, you still have evidence of very specific geometric shapes that are literally carved into the surface. Really loving this view.
Don't look back, 'cause everything. Follow you
Alright, so clouds moved in again, but I was sketching a little bit on top of Sinus Iridum. You can very clearly see almost a full hexagon on the left, and then you can see where the pinch happened, and then the clouds stopped me. Want to stop in here and say what's up, Ryan, North Carolina. This is a great show today with Tess. Hey, my pleasure. That was super fun. Thank you, Tess. And let's see, who else joined? Miguel, you're back. What's up? How's it going? Yo, yo. What's going on, Jeremy Scott? Welcome. All chill in the hood, just waiting for some of these clouds to move through. We got a beautiful waxing gibbous moon, a few days away from full. Pretty sweet streak, excuse me. Stream is pretty cool, but the streak so far, haven't missed a night. Pretty excited about that. Even with a bit of clouds, we can bear through it, venture forward with the moon.
Find its way until the hard drive's done. Bring the wine, tell it the time until the twilight's gone. You're well fed, and just with like fools, just with up cool chicks. Their minds are television for blitz. Something about real wild, separate well, sin wild, sleeping down, in the walls, it's a big touch.
So it looks like it cleared a little bit. Let's get in here and look at some lunar geometry. I dropped in the best of playlist that has a ton of flybys. It also has the Saturn wave. It's got the Jupiter space wave video. I've also got, yeah, did I put the lunar wave in there? I should have, yeah. I really gotta add those two videos. But yeah, I caught it 3 times on the moon. One of them got the channel flagged for 3 months. I couldn't stream. Got me really bummed out. Nothing happened. It was my video of the lunar wave close-up, and it was my song, nothing copywritten, and I couldn't get the channel back. And thankfully, there's no strike on the channel, but they just, you know, I think it was the same time that Crow's channel went down. People were just like, oh, lunar waves is conspiracy. And I'm like, that sucks. But thankfully, I don't use YouTube to make money. Look at this super crispy shot of the moon. I'm going to show molecular structure and my favorite, this image of the snow leopard. Let's get this going while we got the chance. Actually, first, let me show M42. This is not my shot of M42, but it is a stacked shot from Google. It's rare for me to use other people's images, but this is just for reference. Let's see. So look at the similarities between Orion, M42 Nebula, the way it curls outwards, and to the left of it, you got Copernicus crater at the tip kind of a branch, and then you have the whole curl around of Mare Imbrium that looks so much like it. And that to me is fantastic because it's just like, it shows some really intricate, recursive, geometric order to nebula, but also lunar geology, which is insane. All right, let me hide this, and then I'll show the snow leopard. Damn, that was creepy. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay. Snow leopard inbound. Where's the similarity? Before the clouds stop me is right here. Look at the mouth, and you'll see the sides of hexagons right here. You'll also see the shape of a butterfly in the nose. Why are these shapes important? Because these shapes go along the spinal column, which is like a Birkeland filament. It's the caduceus, the 2 snakes, and right here is a hole, and then right here you have a torus around the eyes. Conjugate field geometry. Where's the similarity? Right here. Hexagons meeting. Right here, this chalice. This is the butterfly shape, the nose. Same reason, because this is an imprint of a filament. And the structure goes out like this, and it creates hexagons because what happens is bubbles impinge on one another, creating the counter space that pushes in spheres and creates edges. Exactly, there's a snow leopard on the moon. But anyway, go and do this for yourselves. Take a look at all the big cats, and you'll see that this chalice, this is a hexagon, and it's formed along the filament, and this is why we have mouths, and we have eyes, and ears likely too. Look, it's perfect. It cones out like that. You know, and the legs grow out like branches, like a stalk. And the tail, you know, and our spinal column and our brain follow the same order. If you look at the 2 sides of the brain, there's the same type of structure going on. This has to be it. What's going on, Bubonic? How's it going? Made it here, and there's a tiger on the moon. I didn't know who said that, but that was you. All right. Exactly. So beautiful. Too bad they're hunted by idiots. I mean poachers. I mean idiots. But we just gotta have solidarity with our snow leopards and realize that they're grown the same way humans are grown and planets are grown. And that is very powerful in and of itself. We live and die by the branch, and that's sweet. Alright, sitting here with y'all, waiting for some Aristarchus. Zoomed in, this camera direct to scope. I'm gonna give it a few minutes because this shot is pretty epic. Let's listen to some more tunes. And got some poop thrown in the chat. Pretty normal Sunday night.
In a rough razor, calling up your heart. In my mind, I won't pull no fader, sure. But just so much as ask questions, what's up with it now? The guts get to society. 8 billion are watching. There's power in the minds and living it. Breathe. Bottom the soul for you till our heart captured the stars for you. Forever we could stay. By then I know it, I feel it, I can, I give it, I feel it, I wanted to say, I feel it, you feel the soul to hear it, I'm overhead, like water flowing up the wind, and I become most everything. If I could just have one more night to look into your eyes and to say hello, goodnight. Oh, but it goes. Just so much as ask questions, what's up with it now? They got skipped to society. Bring 8 billion are watching, and you play us power the minds and live in it. Breathe. Bottom the soul for you until you went away. Our heart captured the stars for you till
Alright, quick jump in here. All the clouds are giving us a break. So let's talk about this. We got, again, I was mentioning Aristarchus, but this is even better view. You can see the split branching of Schroeder's Valley. You can see that it looks like a snake, it looks like a river, it looks like a nerve ending. It's got a Lichtenberg kink to it, so rarefactions and compressions create kinks. And then also goosenecks, which means it tries to like go along a branch and then it curls back around. You also got the tip of that kind of flares out like a snake head, and then further along, Schroeder's Herodotus, which let me just sketch it here. Yeah, clouds are not letting me go tonight. Schroeder's Valley, split, fracture. And then you have Herodotus, you got Aristarchus, and then you got Aristarchus Plateau. Never explained, definitely yada yada'd in NASA's Formation of the Moon video. Go look at NASA's Goddard's, the Formation of the Moon, like, render simulation. And you'll see that basically they just throw a whole bunch of rocks at this region, and then they fade in Aristarchus. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, Aristarchus is so phenomenally profound and detailed. You can see Aristarchus crater has a center peak. It's also got that orthogonal geometry. It's also got, it's at the corner of this larger geometric shape. Smaller craters on the rim of larger craters and features. If anyone were to study or send astronauts or astronauts, they should send them here. Yeah, I shouldn't be revealing the kinks of the moon.
bright I can see it's all unless I need to keep a
You even have like a filamentary current and currents all the way. Oh, come back. I love the way it starts drifting, like I'm not trying to stop it. Alright, come back. So you see all these filamentary patterns are always explained as, no, a rock moving at 16,000 miles an hour or more hit this and created an impact scar. And then, you know, it's easy to believe that if you don't consider the alternative, which is that this got zapped and it boiled over and then it exploded, and these are electrical scars from the discharge of this high voltage. And the reason they look like filaments is because they look like the discharge that hit them, like a lightning bolt or a filament. Simple. So some heavy cloudage moved in. What's up, Mistaken Mystery? And Bubonic says, squiggly impact scars though? Well, just to be fair to the popular scientism, they claim that all those, that Schroeder's Valley and all these dendritic, like filamentary scars are volcanic lava flows. And that some of the flows cool and they turn into lava tubes. That's really the extent of it. Electric Universe has Ralph Jurgens and Velikovsky and some others suggesting, like Brian Ford and CJ Ransom, suggesting that these are formed in a laboratory, formed with electric discharge, and you can see the scarification from that. Makes a lot more sense, but even further, like it would make sense that volcanoes are also an electrical phenomenon. So even if they were volcanoes, really what induced the volcano to explode, like a blister or like a pimple, this is probably due to an electric pinch. It all makes sense within that concept. What up, what up? About time they reveal the Electric Universe. Probably not gonna happen. It's not in Mr. Business's best interest. That's where Buzz dropped a deuce. What up, Mark Rowe? Yeah, just waiting for these clouds. I really want to get a few more shots in here. But thanks for hanging out, y'all. Let's ride through some tunes.
Give you love and a common peace. I feel your pain is part of me. I know you think that they lose his bodies, but I'm amazed by the words from your lips. I hear your name, but we come in peace. It's insane that you're part of me. Never lift from my iron wrists, as if everybody is the same buddy. Feel insane and I yearn for belief. Maybe one day you'll summon me. I am made of the will of somebody someday, buddy. We'll get the slip. Here in space now we come in peace. Seeing things that you cannot believe. Ready to trip on the trip. We can live to new, cause I love to give you. We are the space race, we are the moonwalk, we are the franchise, we are the sequel, we are the equal. How are we still here? For your place in the whole space race. Standing at the Italy corner, on a beach outside of heaven, across the street from where I grew up after long and raised. Somehow we lived, somehow we died, somehow we came back to the city side and drive through civilized genocide. We had no fight with your armies, fell down from the Western forces. Had no love for the harmony. We barely helped for the Western forces.
No joke. These clouds are persistent. Maybe it's just telling me to call it a night. Let's see what's going on in the chat room here. Piezoelectric crystal. My dog likes your tunes. Awesome. I love it. I love it when animals can vibe. They know best. We are the space race. Yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit longer here. I moved the scope further down the staircase, so it's much further away from me now, but at least there's nothing obstructing the view except for the clouds. Let's go a little bit longer, see what's going on. And yeah, thanks for all the nice words, everybody. Let's groove.
Catch me when you're low. The loot goes high and high. His friends you used to know. Catch you when you fall. Catch you when you're low. I love you, take a good look, it's a simulation. Wake up, it's solitary. Wake up, it's imaginary. And don't you know, your life is worth more than what you have, take a good look, it's a simulation. Wake up, it's solitary. Wake up, it's imaginary. Man, don't you know, your life is worth more than Catch me if you fall, catch me if you're low. The loot goes high and up, as fast as you can go. Oh, catch me if you fall, catch me when you're low.
Hey, what up? Francis Palmer, and Howie Dunn, and Aisling 717. And who else we got? Let me know if I missed you in the chat. How am I doing? I've been running pretty hardcore on all these space streams and chats. It's good. It's exciting. Trying to get every night of the moon this month. We'll see. You're not supposed to announce your plans to Satan. Lucifer will stop me. I mean, I will stop me. What's up, Leo? Healing songs incoming. Let's go. What else can I play for y'all? This one is a new song from this year. That's one of my favorites that I created. It was just like, I wrote it in about 10 minutes and sang it, and it was the first vocal take. I love when songs come together and they're just a thought or a concept put into the ether, and that's how it goes. Thank you for all the kind words about the show earlier today with Tess Clark. If you haven't seen it, please go listen to that and let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. If you hate it, love it, either or, a discussion is important. All right, let's throw on this song. It's called The Pain I'm Into, or Midnight Moon. At 7:30, of course.
With a midnight moon, we'll be right up, 7 midnight moon. holding up your carcass, seeing inside feels like the ocean. Feel it on the inside, breaking down every year, fading on the freeway.
All right, more dank tunes and more Moon. Welcome everybody just joining. Seems like we got a packed house. So, got Francis Palmer asking about the electric universe. I'm happy to try and answer questions as far as I understand it. So Francis Palmer says, so was Saturn our sun? So today, earlier I had Tess Clark on, and she's done research that shows that maybe it wasn't Saturn, it could have been Uranus, or one of the gas giants. But essentially the idea is that stars grow along a filament, which is essentially like lymph nodes in your body, or veins, and like little plasmoids or pinches form along these veins. That's what humans are, that's what planets are, and stars. And if you look at even pop mainstream science, they show you the local supercluster, Laniakea, looks like a filamentary branch, looks like nerve endings, it looks like neurons. And look at your hands. If you look at your hand, you'll see those same dendritic patterns. This is the fundamental geometry. Yeah. So it could have been Saturn, it could have been Uranus, it could have been something else, but the idea is that Earth went through a period where it was within the sheath, or like the amniotic sac. When a baby is born, it's born within like a very thin sheath. Maybe there was a planet and Earth was born inside this sheath, and we didn't see any stars or the moon or the planets. And yeah, so I feel like this is sort of a better comprehension than things happened 13.7 billion years ago and nothing has moved in billions and billions of years, versus the universe is volatile and it moves and it changes and things are happening now and things happened recently. And so that's really more what Electric Universe is, I want to say pushing, but really what they're trying to say is that the universe is alive, like space is biological and not separate from us and not electrically inert, because humans run on electricity, so does space. Those are some thoughts, but please ask some more. Happy to elaborate. Aisling says, if loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's very kind of you. Yeah, maybe a membrane. Like I was thinking that, you know, this idea of Big Bang, or if you look into string theory, you'll see that they talk about M-brains. Edward Witten talks about multiple Big Bangs or an infinite number of Big Bangs where they have like these bread slices of reality, like jelly, that are banging it, you know, like basically hitting their surfaces at different wavefronts. So I think quantum mechanics and pop science kind of borders on this whole concept, but it doesn't really take it far enough, you know? Like, it throws into question the age of the universe simply because it just says, hey, we don't know. The universe could be very young, or it could be very, very old. The necessity of Big Bang cosmology is due to several factors. One, you know, that's the horse that got backed. You know, it got funding, and that's where we live today. Maybe it was, you know, it was likely intentional, but that's where the money went. But 120 years ago, we certainly had people who were aware of this electrical phenomenon. NASA calls it magnetic ropes. You know, it's really weird why these are already coined Birkeland currents, and NASA for some reason uses magnetic ropes. It's really confusing language, and it seems like somebody either makes these decisions to use idiotic language, or they use or they try and mislead people by not using names like Halton Arp or Christian Birkeland, because maybe it would allow people to really research that stuff. You never hear Christian Birkeland or Maxwell being referenced in any of these shows or talks. And those guys were really the true, like, you know, working on stuff with their hands. Nowadays you have these pop entertainment scientists who are really there to just distract you and to mislead, sadly. Amethyst says the Earth is ancient. Throw me some information on that. Like, why do you think it's ancient? Like, what proof have you seen personally that makes it ancient? I'm not trying to, like, pick a thing. Just, for me, it's the same sort of thing. I'm questioning, like, who told me that the world is ancient? How do I really know? What is time? You know, what is consciousness? Was Earth different? All these questions arise, and if you ask those within the concept of the Earth is ancient, they're like, oh, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? But it's worth reconsidering and playing a song, because we got some moonage. We'll celebrate. Although Cami says we don't know the truth, I gotta say this conjugate geometry, what Ken Wheeler talks about, if you apply it to space, we sort of do know what's going on, actually. I think it's pop mainstream and recesses of conspiracy land that have really not gotten off the fence of salvationism, of the fact that space is real. So real conspiracy is business. It's not another religion, in a way. So I would say, Cam, that for me, this shape of geometry, this apple core, this conjugate field geometry, is actually the answer to consciousness, to life and death, to the balance of everything. You're not supposed to reveal Zen when you've become Zen. It's kind of bad form to give you all the answer, but that's ultimately the answer. Really, the only reason it's not revealed is because businesses have no rationale to tell people about other products. So it's like asking people to reveal, to have disclosure, or to get a spacecraft to take pictures of the Earth. That's like asking Tide to make advertisements for another detergent. You know, it really is that. Like, they have no reason to reveal anything, even if they could. So I think it's that salvationism mentality, unfortunately. Look, I had it too with ufology for years. I was like, they'll eventually disclose everything and then the human race will be saved. That's not going to happen. Like 100% not going to happen. Not because I don't want it, but because it just can't happen. There's no reason for it to actually happen. Personal responsibility and awareness and critical thought is actually what can change things. And that actually comes with no fear or fearlessness, not in terms of telling yourself you're not afraid, but by actually not feeling afraid. And people know the difference, even though they won't admit it. But deep down, when you don't know the answer to a thing, you feel like you're on shaky ground. You feel like you're just going along with a group. And for me, Electric Universe took me out of that entirely. Right now, like, I don't feel like I'm part of a group. I feel like I'm critically thinking for myself. I happen to be part of an online group, but in terms of my thoughts, I'm really not waiting for somebody to tell me how the world is anymore. I think I want to get everybody thinking that way and hoping that people can have their own critical assessment of the world around them. Disempowerment is not fun, and waiting for governments and agencies to do things for you is pretty futile. Also, what's up, Carolina Sky Astronomy? it looks like it actually might... I don't think it's going to rain, but damn, it got real cloudy. I'm not going to take a chance. I think the sky is trying to say, you've done enough this weekend. So, got a little bit of the moon, didn't miss tonight. And I really appreciate everybody hanging out. Let me know if you have any final thoughts here. I'm going to start wrapping it up and have some more of my dinner that I left. Cammy, Mrs. Ant TV. Oh my God, I'll tell you a little anecdote. Here's my little anecdote. So I think they're still up, but you really have to dig deep. So I got a little ant farm from Amazon, not from the Amazon, from the Amazon, from Amazon.com, and it was in like one of those little towers with jelly, like the blue gel, and it was, 20, 30 worker ants, and I just streamed that with the same music, like early TakeBackSpace music. It was on days that I couldn't see the moon. I was like, let's stream an ant farm. I also did microscope streaming, and I think I streamed the Pharaoh cell at one point. But yeah, so the ants, it was really fun for 2 weeks. And then I felt really bad. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna release these ants into the wild. And so long story short, I released them. I was like, all good, went to bed. Came back out the next morning, and on my front porch, these ants were annihilated, or being in the process of being annihilated by tiny red ants, just swarming them and just like tearing them to shreds. It was really, really pretty horrible. I felt so bad for these drone ants that had never seen any other life, and literally they like made it out into the wild, and the whole swarms of the small ants just like tore them apart. That was the end of Ant TV. Like, never again, not formicide, or whatever, formicide. All right, that was a little anecdote. Rest in peace, ants. And also, this cat, Juice World, died at 21 today. What a crazy life. Just another example of just another reminder to live right now, to experience the center of your plasmoid, and just live for people who don't have it as good, and that's how you can send it out. I'll be back tomorrow, as long as the weather is clear. You're making a big Pharaoh cell. I would say just get one. It's fun to make, but yeah, it just proves this conjugate geometry. In real time. I mean, of course, that was definitely what brought me to a much better visualization treatment of how fields actually work, but absolutely, certainly, I'm going to link y'all up to a few things here. I know the screen is black, but whatever. Let me send y'all a couple of links here for one of my favorite videos, which shows bubbles. I link this every time, but this is seriously what's going on. So bubbles show that spheres form, and then spheres meet other spheres and they create hexagons. This is the Platonic geometry of the universe. Spheres and platonics. Everything is trying to find the smartest, most efficient, and strongest shape, no matter what, including our bodies, our hearts, and our lungs, and our minds. So that's what's going on. So yeah, those poor ants. What else we got? Rain in here. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it might rain. It completely got closed up. Actually, wait, let's see. No, I don't talk about my birthday, Mary, but thank you for caring. Let's see. Fun to make and learn with, that's for sure. I would just say, like, it would be great to see more videos of Pharaoh Cell and like understanding how culture and words and thoughts actually emanate along these lines. I really feel it's super interesting. I was talking about it today with Tess while we were watching the sun, And you can really see how information actually exists outside the body in these plasma shells. Imagine like your heart is oscillating, and every second of life and information is like this little plasma bubble that emits from your body. You know, and of course it's not a perfect like ball, right? That's what everyone's afraid of, but really it's more about it morphs to the bubbles around you. So it's like spheres meeting other spheres and kind of pushing into the smallest possible space. It's like when somebody says, I can read the room, or I feel ya, or sphere of influence, or their bubble got burst. Any number of these cliches that we have allude to this conjugate field geometry. All right, that's what I got to say. Have a great night, everybody. Play this song and give you all a quick shout out. Aisling, Cami, take care. Say hi to Bob, Carolina Sky Astronomy. You have a great night, man. Francis Palmer, thanks for hanging out. Mary Quite, OG. Ellie Wynn, OG. Who else we got? Of course, Kimmy and Amethyst Crystal. And Daylight Savings. Howie Dunn, much love. Who else? Ben, Mistaken Mystery, and Leo, and Miguel. And anybody I missed. I saw Bubonic up there. All right, everybody. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Take care. Be well.